May I now disturb you? Hello. Okay, grateful. At least we're having some moments of recollection and moments of discernment and of course yung itong writing sessions po natin. Okay? Now, why is this very, very important for us? Because if order for you and me to be truly prophets, we ought to know how to speak the language of God. And what is the language of God? Sabi mo sa katabi mo, silence. Kaya ito na isang importante sa inyong, if I believe in your pledges, sabihin nyo sa katabi ninyo, kumusta ang meditation? Minsan, tinuruan tayo ng mundo, huwag kang manahimik, huwag kang mag-meditate. Ang importante, hawak mo ang beat. Hawak mo ang beat. So I think you have to be careful when you and I are taught to be not comfortable in silence. A real charismatic is contemplative. Kung sinasabi mong tunay kang charismatic, dapat contemplative ka. That is not an original quotation from me. It was from one of priests who came to realize in a charismatic convention, a real charismatic is contemplative. Ibig sabihin, marunong mag-meditate. Hindi lang kumanta ng praise the Lord at hallelujahs. Magawa niyang manahimik, tumahimik para marinig ang boses ng Panginoon. And thus, being a prophetic voice, wonderful pointers have been given to us. It's not simply about able to speak, but the capacity to listen and be able to identify the truth. And it is with this truth that you and I become better once again. It is with this truth that we are free. It is with this truth that you and I become true and better disciples. So let us learn to be guided by the voice of the Lord and be able to be prophetic in our ways. Be comforted with the truth. Be comfort be comfortable with the truth. So to go to our next pointer given to us, ay hindi po break time. Hello? Nag-break na po kami. Tanungin niyo nga po yung katabi ninyo, nasarapan ka ba sa kinain mo? Okay. So we are to expand our apostolate, no? Our apostolates or expanding our apostolate reach. Now, when it comes to our life as BLD, bukas loob sa Diyos, ang isang magandang paalala para sa atin. Pakisabi sa likod, hindi lang tayo-tayo. Tayo-tayo lang. Excuse me. That is not the kind of heart that Jesus showed. What did Jesus show? A heart that is exposed. A heart that is brought out. Kaya, magandang tignan nga natin. Baka naman yung mga galawan at pinaggagawa natin para sa tayo-tayo lang. Our spirituality or charism was meant to be shared, not solely for exclusivity. Kaya, pakitanong sa katabi, tumutulong ka ba sa parokya? Hello? Baka, reader ako para sa BLD lang. Ah, Minister ako para sa BLD lang. Eh di wow. I have been guiding our brothers and sisters in Baguio please tell each member to be of help in their respective parishes. Share your person as BLD to your parish because you and I are meant to do so. Allow the BLD flavor to be experienced also by others and not solely of our own. Kaya nga, expand our apostolates using the second letter of Paul to the Corinthians chapter 10 verses 15b to 16. Our hope is that your faith continues to grow. Our sphere of activity among you will greatly expand so that we can preach the gospel in the regions beyond you. Hindi mo kailangan maging BLD muna para lang may parating ang napakagandang karanasan ko. Kung ikaw man, you are moved by such an experience of us, we are grateful. And if you want to become a member, grateful. But if not, we are still grateful because you have come to experience us, we who have encountered the Lord. Di ba? Kaya sabihin mo sa katabi mo, huwag kang madamot. Minsan, yun ang isang problema. We tend to become, we have a tendency to be exclusive. Diyan nag-away-away ang mga apostoles. We are for Paul. We are for Apollos. We are for Cephas. That kind of mentality is preventing you and me to be like God, to be like Christ, who shared himself for all. And going into some of our own experiences, minsan we are becoming the reason why our apostolates do not expand. Gaya ng, pag wala ako dyan, hindi kayo gagawa. Huh? Sabihin nyo sa katabi nyo, sounds very familiar. Okay? Pag wala ako dyan, wala kayong saysay. Wala kayong magagawa. That kind is very dangerous. Because that is teaching you something that Christ never taught. You know what is that? To control and to dictate. A person who loves diffuses goodness. Now, of course, I know we have our policies, we have our rules of life, and as rules as a community. Tanungin nyo nga yung katabi ninyo, nagme-meditate ka ba ng rules natin? Father, ang kapal. Pinabasa nyo ako ng makapal. Joke lang. I've been reading, ang kapal nga. And I think sometimes when you become, there is a tendency for micromanaging. Be careful because you and I won't be able to expand and be one with the Spirit when we micromanage. Na dapat lahat within my grasp, within my whatever. Take note of what happened to one of the deacons, Philip. Nung natapos siya na pinadala ng Espiritu ng Diyos para kausapin ang isang eunuch, at nung nabinyagan, ang eunuch na yon, anong nangyari sa kanya? biglang nawala at pinadala uli sa iba? Ah, magandang tanong. Tanungin yung katabi nyo, marunong ko bang bumitaw? Ayaw bitawan dahil ako ang nagsimula. Ako rin ang magtatapos hanggang mamatay. Hanggat wala akong pagkakatiwalaang ibibigay. Ang trabahong yan, ako at ako laang. Hello? I know sometimes there are these kinds of realities. But you and I have to come to realize I was comfortable in some of my assignments and I wanted just to hold on to them. But God has His ways of teaching me. Hmm, ano yon? Sabihin nyo sa katabi nyo, kumusta ang obedience mo? Hello? Minsan, if you and I would like to expand and grow, you and I must learn to obey and not to be comfortable with what you like. Because you and I are taught as disciples not to listen to my will, but to His will. When you begin to manipulate in order for you to get what you want, you are no different from the corrupt Pharisees whom Jesus was fighting, he was fighting against because they wanted everything within their grasp, what they want and whatsoever. And that's why you and I must learn to listen and be able to see more than simply ourselves. And I'm grateful to you, BLD, dahil nagagawa nyo nang i-expand ang inyong apostolates. Not only to encounters, not only to the usual things that you and I have come to be comfortable with, but you begin to see and reach out. Pero sabihin mo sa katabi mo, huwag tayong maging DSWD. When I say expanding, reaching out, it doesn't mean simply doing social works, though that may be part of it. Extending the church's mission by reaching the marginalized, fostering lay leadership, and utilizing new forms of media for evangelization. So, ibig sabihin nun, reaching out to the marginalized. Grateful na meron akong narinig na mga scholarship, mga tinutulungan natin yung mga may nasalanta ng anumang calamities. And there are other programs that you have been doing to reach out to the marginalized. Another one is fostering lay leadership, that you share what you have come to learn to other communities. And I'm quite excited actually, and thank you for the Go Signal kasi we are thinking of having like a one-day marriage encounter for parish setting. Para sa ganoon, hindi lang parang dun sa mga gusto lang yung 3 days, may mga iba hindi kaya. Dahil like example in our circumstance, a lot of them are farmers. Parang isang overnight napakahirap na. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kumusta na kaya yung baka? Kumusta na kaya yung yung manok? Kumusta na kaya yung that is so precious already. And it's nice, it's not them who always adjust to us. It's nice that we adjust to them. So sabihin nyo sa katabi mo, be Christ-like. Because it is not we who adjusted to God in a sense of salvation. It was He who adjusted to us so that you and I will be saved. He did not ask anything from us, but He just asked us to listen to His Son and follow Him. He who is God becoming man. No? And this then is a good reminder in expanding our apostolates. Pinapaalala sa atin na tayo'y mga tao na may puso't diwa, pag-iisip, at hindi tayo bulag, pipi, o bingi. Kung hindi, nakikiramdam rin tayo at nararamdaman ang mga nangyayari sa paligid-ligid natin. Tsaka dito ko magandang tanong. Tanungin nyo nga yung katabi ninyo, alam mo ba yung struktura ng parokya nyo? Naku, biglang nag-isip na. Oh, see? A little ecclesiology might help you. Don't only know your structure as PLD, know the structure of the church. Para sa ganoon, may hindi natin, hindi mangyayari, ang isang minsan masakit na nangyayari, ano yon? Sabihin niyo sa katabi nyo, bypass. Nababypass si parish priest. Nababypass ang mga ilang struktura. Kaya minsan feeling ng mga iba, parang nayayabangan sila sa atin. O, sabihin niyo sa katabi nyo, sounds familiar nga. I had to also teach our brother priests para sa ganoon hindi sila, kasi may mga negative perception kasi patungkol sa charismatic. But nevertheless, some of them are based on their experiences, to which we will not try to, sugarcoat anything. But there is that truth. But if we want to expand our apostolate, you and I must know the realities in and out of society and of our church. In that way, you and I will have a better coordination of how things will be done. Kaya nga, new forms of media for evangelization. Yung media dyan, it's not solely about social media or the media that we understand, but other forms and ways na kaya ko palang makitrabaho kasama ang Knights of Columbus. No? Kaya ko palang makitrabaho kasama ang mga apostolada. Kaya ko palang makitrabaho, makisama sa Kura Paroko, sa kanyang assistant, sa Parish Pastoral Council. Para sa ganoon, makita nila na miyembro ako ng simbahan. Okay? We are the church. Okay? We are the church. We are church for that matter. No? And thus, a reminder, whenever we say we are BLD, we are not separate from the parish. We are not separate from the diocese. We are not separate from any church ecclesiastical organizations. We are part. We are part. And we form the parish. We are part in forming the parish. We are part in forming the diocese. And getting out of those structures also of ecclesiastical, kasama, we are part of society. Tanungin nyo sa harap naman po, kilala mo ba yung barangay captain nyo? Hello? Father, hindi ko yung binoto, kaya hindi ko yan kilala. Mga ganun tipo. Kailangan ganun ba? Kailangan yung manok ko ang mananalo? Oops, be careful. Ah, Huwag tayong mamulitika. Hmm? Baka mamaya may makita kami. BLD4! O mga ganun tipo, no? BLD votes for. Naku, wag naman. No? Pakiusap po. Hmm? We were meant to be, not necessarily in quotation neutral, but in a sense that we don't use the name of no, our community in ways that would lead to worldly engagements that can be dangerous. But nevertheless, still we are part of society. Kaya tanungin nyo nga yung katabi ninyo, nagbabayad ka ba ng tax? Eh, pinag-uusapan nyo rin ba yan? Hoy, nagbabayad ka ba ng tax mo? Hoy, dapat BLD tayo. We do our part. O baka naman nagsasabi sa inyo, ayoko nga, nabubwisit ako sa mga four-piece. Nabubwisit ako sa tupad. Kaya bakit ako magbabayad? Bakit? Mga ganon. I hope and pray. Please bear in mind whom we follow. Jesus Christ, who asked for a coin and asked, whose face do you see? Give what is due to Caesar and give what is due to God. So, expanding our apostolates would mean learning how to be in society, to be in our ecclesiastical jurisdictions. In that way, you will see our interconnectedness. Para maiwasan ang isang pwedeng nangyari. And what is that? Exclusivity. That we begin to become so exclusive, like we are a special club, a special organization, na para bang tayo lang. Pakiusap po. Pangalan po natin, bukas loob sa Diyos. Bukas ang ating kalooban, gaya ng ating Panginoon. And that can also go to a further extent to working with other faith, if you would like to put it that way too. Na kaya kong makitrabaho kasama mga Baptist. Kaya kong no, halubilo kasama mga Anglican o sino pa man dyan. No? Ewan ko lang kung gusto niyo makihalubilo sa mga satanista. Pero I think that would be another story. Pero I know of a group who's praying for the conversion of Satan. Hmm? But I don't know if that would be fruitful. But nevertheless, you never know. But setting that aside, because that medyo special case masyado kung ating i-involve atin dyan. But going into normal and usual ways is that call for involvement. That call that I am part of. That call that I know how to reach out. I know how to deal with. At hindi lamang kailangang makita ko pa sa t-shirt mo. BLD ka? Uy, BLD ka nga. Ikaw kakausapin ko. Ikaw wala. Pangit. Hindi yan ka. Okay? Ay, hindi. Ayan. Although I know part of our ways is to look for sino yung commonality natin, which is well and good. But don't put it in a way that we are beginning to teach one another. exclusivity. Huwag kang makinig diyan, huwag mong pakinggan 'yan. Tayo-tayo lang. Be careful. We won't grow and we won't be able, no, to become one with the ways of the Lord and the discipleship that He asks of you and me if we begin to have that like that. No? Because as reminded to us in the introduction, we are known as disciples of Christ by the way we love. Kung paano tayo magmahal at ang pag-ibig ng Diyos, He had taught us how to embrace people. And it's not only people who are good, but also those who have been set aside. The least, the last, and the lost. No? So here then, once we go to that aspect, kaya nga meron yung sa church structures sa Diocese of Baguio, we have liturgy, formation, and social action. Social action is actually the ministry that teaches our parishioners that they have a heart, that they become one with the love of God, who reached out to adulterers, who reached out to, no, mga tinatawag nating, marami tayong pinagsasabi na parang nakakadiri. For putting it in generic, even the sinners. Now, going into that, magandang tignan. Ano nga ba nga klaseng apostolates? Kaya nga I'm happy that in dun sa Baguio, when I was sharing certain realities, no, sharing realities in the parish that I was assigned before, natutuwa ako dahil marami sa kanila doktor. And eventually, they began to give me pointers na, Father, mag-medical mission tayo. O, di ba? Galing. And that is our way, mga kapatid. That can be a way. And we can insert certain things about us. So from the medical mission, natutuwa ako dahil meron silang linagay na parang a section for prayer or for just simply listening. Kaya nga natutuwa ako dahil sila, example sila Tito Dong, makikita bilang dun sa isang patient. Then kung gusto niyang mag-usap, and then, do you want to pray? Would you like you to pray for you? So may kasamang ganon. It's not to convert them, but to remind them about healing is not solely about the body, but also about the soul and the spirit. And this then, sisters and brothers in Christ, I hope and pray that you try to look into, as covenanted brothers and sisters, how are we, no, expanding, reaching out to our brethren? Not only within ourselves, within the organization, within our community, but even outside. That is extending to the society, to the parish, to the diocese. Naku, siguro naman, kilala nyo naman siguro yung mga obispo po ninyo, no? Hello, kilala ba kayo ng mga obispo natin? Dapat lang. So I hope and pray, no? You and I get to see these ones. Now, to further my pointers regarding this and regarding expanding apostolates, I will now call on Tito Eric and Tita Rona.
Hello. Good morning po uli. Morning. Our talk or topic is still expanding our apostolate. By the way, we are your servants for mission. Kamag-anak po ni Tito Ray, formation. Pag naiba yung pronunciation, mission po tayo. Mission po kami. Eric and Rona po. And we are guided by, um, wait lang. Okay. We are guided by the key scriptures taken from Matthew and James. The first being um, from Matthew chapter 25. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. And the other one from James, faith without works is dead. And with that, our conference focus is to challenge the community to broaden its spiritual, pastoral, and social ministries so that Christ's love reaches those who are searching, suffering, forgotten, marginalized, or in need. Okay. We believe that the ministry of presence, we give importance to the ministry of presence. And the greatest gift we can offer is by simply being present. Before we speak, we listen. Before we teach, we accompany. And like Jesus, we walk beside those who are hurting, offering compassion, hope, and encouragement. And with that, we have a few examples that my Eric would like to
Okay. So,
give. That
ministry of
most of
presence. No? Sabi nga dito, the greatest gift we can offer is simply being present. No? Katulad no, nandito kayo ngayon lahat. Nandito sa picture na to makikita natin, nagpunta kami sa isang district. Doon sa district na yon, karamihan ng mga members doon, kilala namin. So, pagbisita namin doon, napansin namin parang kumukonti na yung members. So, kinausap namin yung isang member doon. So, habang tinatanong namin siya, sabi ko, "Tita, bakit parang kumukonti na yung member natin?" Ang sabi niya, kasi nawawala na yung ministry of presence. Example, sabi niya, pagka ini-invite silang, of, "Tita, kayo yung magbabasa ng readings natin sa ating corporate worship." 'Di ba minsan, ah face-to-face nating sinasabi. But because of yung modern technology, ginagawa na lang natin through text. 'Di ba? "Tita, ikaw ang magbabasa next Wednesday sa corporate worship." Ang sabi niya, sabi ng kausap namin, pagka nawala na yung face-to-face kasi, nawawala na yung parang personal touch. And because of that, pag tinext ka na ikaw ay magbabasa, you can easily decline. Sabi niya, kaya sabi niya, 'pag ayoko, I can easily decline kasi hindi ko kaharap yung kausap ko, eh. Yung nag-i-invite, hindi mo siya kaharap. So yun yung nagiging epekto, nawawala yung ministry of presence. So iba yung, pagka in-invite ka, hindi lang naman yung about readings ang pag-uusapan niya, eh. So yun yung importante. Ikaw yung nandoon, 'pag nag-i-invite tayo dapat nandoon tayo. So gano'n din sa ating community. So importante po yun, okey? So dito naman sa expanding our apostolate, sabi nga ni Father, dapat hindi lang yung tayo-tayo. In expanding our apostolate, kailangan sa ibang community, nagsiserve din tayo. So dito sa example natin, marami tayong ginagawa. Ang BLD, maraming ginagawang medical mission. Nagkaroon ng medical mission sa Lucena, and then nagkaroon din ng medical mission sa San Mateo. Tinutulungan tayo ng ating district galing sa Newark. So yung mga taga Newark, actually pupunta sila sa Lucena, hindi lang sila nagbibigay ng pera. Dala-dala nila yung sarili nila. Yung mga doktor na nasa Newark, nandoon nagpa-participate sa Lucena, sa San Mateo, dala nila pati yung mga gamot. Nandoon sila mismo. Hindi lang yung, okay kayo na, andito na yung mga pera, okay na ang bahala dyan. Nandoon sila mismo. So, sa amin namang mag-asawa, hindi lang sa BLD kami nagsiserve mga medical mission. Nagsiserve din kami sa ibang community like for example, Couples for Christ. May mga kaibigan kami doon na dentist, mga gano'n. 'Pag ini-invite kami, nagse-serve kami sa kanila, sa Couples for Christ. And also, 'pag meron namang medical mission ang BLD, ini-invite din namin sila. Yung mga dentist nila sa mag-serve sa BLD. So ang pinakaimportante dito is yung the community becomes most effective when spiritual formation leads to compassionate service. So compassionate service, ang pinaka-example natin diyan is siguro kilala niyo si Mother Teresa, 'di ba? Kilala niyo kung paano siya mag-serve. So hindi lang siya yung nagbibigay ng pagkain, gano'n. Kundi minsan may mga picture siya na yakap-yakap niya yung bata, eh. 'Di ba? Inaaruga niya. So mararamdaman ng bata yung pagmamahal. So minsan pinapaliguan niya yung bata. So gano'n. So yung spiritual formation wala tayong problema ron, eh, because ang BLD maganda ang dami nating natatanggap na teachings, eh. 'Di ba? Busog na busog tayo sa teachings. Kaya kung yung teachings lang wala tayong problema, pero hanggang saan yung teaching na yon? Kailangan ma-extend natin yon with compassionate service. Yun yung sinasabi ni Father na hindi lang tayo, lalabas na tayo ngayon. Ini-expand natin yung ating apostolate. Okay? So dito, ang isang example natin dito, we are called to serve others. So ito yung ginagawa ng BLD Manila, feeding program. So nagpupunta sila sa mga outreaches, ayan, sa Muntinlupa, nagkakaroon sila ng feeding program. So nung una, yung feeding program na nagpapakain, gano'n. So yung mission apostolate ng Manila, yan ang mga ginagawa nila. So ang nakakatuwa doon, sabi nga nila nung kinukuwento nila, nung una, siyempre feeding program, punta ka sa isang barangay. Nagtatawag ka lang ng o yan, mga bata, gano'n, ganito. So yung gagastos ka kasi siyempre hindi naman sila ready. Gagastos ka ngayon. Nung later on, sabi nila na nakita nila, ano na, ah, hindi na masyadong humihingi yung barangay ng pambili ng pagkain. Natuto na silang kasi naturuan din sila ng tithing. Natuto na sila. So yung ₱10 nila, inaabot na nila, gano'n. Inaabot ₱20. Hanggang sa yung feeding program nila, minsan sila na yung bumibili ng pagkain. So makikita mo merong pagbabago. May pagbabago. So yung ginagawa ng BLD, naaabot na sila, nata-touch na sila. So yung barangay na yon, sila na mismo yung nagluluto ng pagkain, gano'n, sila na yung nagse-serve, galing na sa bulsa nila yung pera. So gano'n po yung ginagawa ng BLD Manila. So dito, siguro, yung iba sa atin privately ginagawa natin yon on our own. Binibisita natin yung mga member natin na may sakit. And then ito maganda 'tong kuwento na 'to, eh, Haven for Children and Women. So, kung makikita niyo, ano 'yan, karamihan kasi nung nandiyan mga BLD Manila, medyo bata-bata pa sila. Matagal na 'tong picture na 'to, eh. Ah, Ayan. So, siguro yung iba namumukhaan niyo yung sarili niyo diyan. Itong Haven for Children, nakakatuwa yung dito, eh. Ito kasi yung mga bata na nando'n sa isang bahay na yung iba nalalaman namin wala palang magulang. May mga bata dito na hindi nila nakita yung nanay at tatay nila. Iniwan na lang, gano'n. So, nandun yung mga bata na yan. So, ang BLD, so ang ginagawa nila diyan, siyempre pinapakain, gano'n. Pagka meron tayong mga damit, binibigyan natin sila. And then, yung rito, yung mga members natin actually ang gumagawa nito yung mga solo parent, yung mga singles, yan. Iba-ibang ministry yan, ng BLD. Yung homestead, yan. Nagsasama-sama sila rito, pumupunta sila diyan sa Haven for Women. And then, yung mga solo parent, yung mga singles, sila, nagkukuwento sila, nag-e-evangelize sila do'n sa mga bata. Unti-unti nakikilala nila yung Diyos. Mga batang maliliit lang ito, eh. Pero actually meron na ring mga malalaki. So ngayon, dito naman, hindi lang yung Haven for Children. Katabi kasi niyang Haven for Children sa may Alabang, katabi niya yung, andun din yung facility ng Haven for Women. So ito naman yung mga babae na biktima sila ng hindi nila kagustuhang pangyayari sa buhay nila. Yung mga ganon. Minsan may mga ginagawa sila para mabuhay lang na hindi naman nila kagustuhan. Nandoon po sila. And then, actually may mga ano pa rito, may mga foreigner, hindi lang Pilipino. May iba-ibang nasyon nandoon, makikita nyo. Kung minsan, kung may time kayo, puntahan nyo sila. So, ganun din, ang nagpupunta rin dito, yung mga solo parents, mga singles, yung homestead, iba-ibang ministry, ganun din. Ito naman, since malalaki na sila, may mga Bible, ano na sila, sharing. May word sharing na sila. So, sa ganung paraan, nai-evangelize natin sila. Kasi hindi sila basta pwedeng lumabas eh. Nandun lang sila sa loob ng bakuran na yon. Kaya hindi sila nakakalabas. Okay? Yung susunod dito is yung expanding our apostolate, hindi lang sa ano eh, sa pagtulong doon sa mga nasa tabi natin. Minsan, ang expanding our apostolate, nandoon din yung pastoral care. So usually, na-exercise natin to as BLD pagka may mga LSS, di ba? LSS activities. Merong lamb, merong shepherd. Okay? So yung alam naman natin yung ginagawa natin during before the LSS, merong shepherding. 'Di ba? Kinakausap mo yung lamb mo kasi first time mo pa lang mamimit siya and then minsan mag-o-open na siya. Ang pinaka-importante rito is hindi mo lang siya ini-evangelize eh. Nakikita mo yung different stages ng buhay niya. Kung ano yung mga pinagdaanan niya. Nalalaman mo yun. And then, ang shepherding kasi, hindi lang matatapos pagkatapos ng activity. So, hanggat nandiyan siya, buhay siya, kailangan minsan kinukumusta mo siya, di ba? Lalo na pag hindi na siya nakaka-attend, "Uy, kumusta ka na?" Gano'n. So, ano nang nangyayari? Okay. So, sinasabihan ng asawa ko, bilisan ko daw, sabi niya. So, gano'n po yon, shepherding. So, hindi lang tayo matatapos after nung LSS activity. By the way, no, gusto ko lang idagdag. Ito dito lang ako natutuwa kasi ako sa LSS, yung nakaraang LSS ng BLD Manila. Actually, dito ko nakita yung tao na bali-bali na yung buto, nagse-serve pa rin. Nagse-serve pa rin sa LSS. Yung ano nila, yung coordinator nila, actually, before the LSS, nadulas. Actually, nabali yung buto. So, kung siguro sa akin nangyari yun, sabihin ko, valid yung reason eh. Hindi na ako magsiserve kasi bahala na kayo dyan. Pero yung tao na yun, nag-serve pa rin. So, ganun. Parang in-expanding our apostolate sa kanya, kahit na ano mangyari. Kasi magsiserve pa rin ako. Yeah. Yun yung generous service na sinasabi natin. So kahit ano mangyari, in our expanding our apostolate, kahit na ano mangyari. Kasi maraming challenges eh. Nandun pa rin tayo, expand pa rin natin yung ating apostolate. Okay? Susunod po is yung, ayan. Sabi nga, ito nabanggit ito ni Father kanina, Scholarship of Hope. I'm sure yung ibang district natin, hindi nyo pa siguro na i-implement ito. Pero ito po yung program natin worldwide. Ibig sabihin, ang gusto natin is hindi lang Manila, hindi lang ibang district, kundi kung pwede lahat tayo. Pero maraming challenges dito. Ang nangyayari dito, yung funds natin nanggagaling sa abroad, dinadala sa Manila, and then tinutulong natin. Ang pagkakaiba lang ng BLD, ang Scholarship of Hope program natin is hindi lang hindi lang tayo nakatingin sa grades. Ang gusto ng BLD, pag merong bata na gustong mag-aral, hindi natin titingnan yung grades. As long as gusto niya mag-aral, susuportahan natin siya. So ganun po tayo. Ganun ang ginagawa ng BLD. Okay. Sabi ng asawa ko, ganun daw, bilisan ko daw. Okay. So, ayan, nawala tuloy ako. Ah, Scholarship of Hope. Okay. Ayan. So, dito, in expanding our apostolate, Ah, for example, kami, nagkakaedad na rin kami, hindi natin 'to magagawa habang panahon. In expanding our apostolate, kailangan natin ng mga bagong leaders. So, kailangan mag-train tayo ng mga bagong leaders na papalit sa atin. So, bakit si Michael Jordan? Hindi naman si Michael Jordan ang sinasabi ko. Ano ang katangian ni Michael Jordan na nagustuhan ko sa kanya? Kasi ilang beses nag-champion ng Bulls nung 1990s. So, ilang beses ba? Mga 5, 6 yata. 6. 6, ano, okay. So, bakit nag-champion ng Bulls nung time na yon? Bakit ang galing-galing nila? Si Michael Jordan, may nabasa akong isang article sa kanya. Meron, aside from being na magaling na player, si Michael Jordan, ang sabi nila, napapalabas niya yung galing o yung skills nung kasama niya. For example, para maging manalo kayo sa NBA, kailangan kayong 5 nasa court, kailangan lahat kayo may contribution. Kailangan magaling kayo sa opensa. Magaling kayo sa depensa. Di ba? So, kailangan nyo lahat yun eh. Magaling kayo sa 3-point. Kasi ang labanan ngayon sa basketball, 3 points na, di ba? Sino ang magaling sa 3-point nung araw na yon? Si Steve Kerr. Ngayon ay coach ng Golden State Warriors. Okay. Si Luke Longley nung pumasok siya sa Bulls, actually si Luke Longley, hindi siya masyadong kilala dahil tahimik lang siya noon pero malaking tao siya. Pero si Luke Longley, na-improve ni Michael Jordan yung skills niya sa opensa. Okay? So mahaba na raw yun. So in other words, we as a leader, lahat po kayo is leaders. Lahat po tayo ay kailangan ganon yung gagawin natin sa mga kasamahan natin. Kailangan mapalabas natin yung galing nila as a leader so that we can expand our apostolate. Okay? So, napahaba yata ako kay Michael Jordan. Okay. So, ano naman yung kotse? Anong kotse, Eric? Yung kotse naman, kasi itong journey natin, sabi nga ni Titong Mark kanina, sa IDC 8, 10 years from now. Ano ba ang BLD? 10 years from now. So parang journey yan mula ngayon hanggang sa 10 years. Ano ba yung gagawin natin? How to expand our apostolate? In expanding our apostolate, marami tayong kailangan. Itong kotse, kaya ko nilabas yan, meron akong konting kwento. Yung anak ko, binata na siya. Sabi niya, Daddy, gusto ko na mag-drive. O sige, sabi ko, di driving school. At nag-driving school siya. Natapos niya na. So, tuwan-tuwa na sa akin, Daddy, tapos na ako sa driving school. Pwede na ba ako mag-drive? Sabi niya sa akin gano'n. Sabi ko, akala niya, ibibigay ko na yung susi. O, ayun na yung susi. Sige, mag-drive ka na. Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, o sige, tapos ka na sa driving school. O sige, mag-enroll ka uli. Nagulat siya. Tapos na ako sa driving school, mag-enroll uli ako sa driving school. So, sumama yung mukha niya. Sabi niya gano'n sa part ko, actually magastos yun kasi magbabayad uli ako Pero hindi niya nakikita yung reason behind. Kaya ko siya pinag-enroll. Nung nag-aral ka mabuti, nung unang nag-aral ka sa driving, ang pinag-aaralan mo muna yung preno, cambio, yung focus mo doon doon di ba? Doon ka naka-concentrate. Pero nung sabi niya, nung na-realize ko, nung pangalawang driving lesson ko, nung nag-aral uli siya, sabi niya, ang focus ko pala, hindi na rito sa preno, doon na sa karsada. Ibig sabihin, kaya mo gustong mag-drive dahil gusto mo makarating from point A to point B. Pero paano ka makakarating from point A to point B kung nasiraan yung kotse? Ang point ko is, sabi ko sa kanya, in-explain ko sa kanya, hindi ang pagdadrive ng kotse, hindi lang marunong ka mag-drive. Kailangan lahat ng mga kailangan mo para makarating ka sa pupuntahan mo, alam mo yon. Paano yung pag naplatan ka, marunong ka ba magpalit ng gulong? So yun yung point ko sa kanya. Kailangan alam mo yan. Alam mo yung roadmap, alam mo yung rules and regulation para makarating ka sa pupuntahan mo. In expanding our apostolate, kailangan ganun din tayo. So dito, sa yung susunod na next 2 topics natin, kailangan din natin ito. Okay? So ano po yun? Yung digital world. Ano paano natin i-apply yan sa expanding our apostolate? Sabi nga ni Father, yung mga social media. So yun yung mga yan. Ano ba yung mga kailangan? Can we expand our apostolate to the other side of the ng mundo natin? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Pero sa ngayon, hindi natin alam kung paano. We can take advantage of the modern technology para we can also use that in expanding our apostolate. Okay? So in expanding our apostolate, kailangan din natin kailangan natin mag-invest sa younger generation. Okay? So makikita niya natin dito sa audience natin, konti pa lang yung younger generation. So kailangan we have to tap those younger. Ang nakakatuwa dito, actually yung isa sa mga gitarista natin doon si Emas, dati bata lang yan eh. Bata lang yan sa BLD, tatakbo-takbo rito. Ngayon nagse-serve na siya. Isa na siya sa mga leaders natin. We need the younger generation to continue yung ginagawa natin ngayon in expanding our apostle. Tatandaan natin, 5 years from now, baka hindi na natin kaya magpunta kung saan-saan eh. Sila na yung susunod at papalit sa atin. Yung mga younger generation. Okay?
Okay. So in closing, we ask ourselves, how do we bring Christ's love to those who need it most? Hindi pa po itong reflection question. So the answer is found in the lives of generous service. An apostolate grows not merely by increasing numbers, but by forming disciples who love God, live the gospel, and help others encounter Christ. May we become a community that not only speaks about Jesus, but also reveals him through every act of mercy, every gesture of compassion, and every life we touch. As we expand our apostolate, may more people encounter Christ through our presence, our service, and our love. Salamat po. So we will have our reflection question. Thank you po. You can only choose one question po. Bahala na po.